Hello everyone, my name is Kain, welcome back or welcome to the channel. I'm a League of Legends player, content creator and passionate coach. If you're interested in my personal coaching, feel free to check out the link in the description below. And before we begin, know that you could make my day by hitting that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to me and you would help me out a lot, so thank you. And one more thing, I would love to hear from you in the comments on potential ideas for new Nilah skins, as she currently only has 2 skins. Personally, I think a high new Nilah skin would be absolutely awesome. With that being said, let's get started. The new season or new split started yesterday, and with that come some significant changes, especially item wise. So both yesterday and today I've been spending quite some time in rank and in practice tool to find out the best Nilah build. On screen I'll share some numbers with you that should give you some idea why I'm recommending a certain build. The numbers themselves don't really matter, but how they position relatively towards their competitors does matter. Keep in mind, while testing out all of these items, I took everything into account, such as level power spikes, armor, HP of the dummy, like literally everything. My findings: your first item should be Collector. Collector is a great choice because not only does it offer the highest damage output compared to its competitors, but it also offers a great build buff and passive. Collector was lacking in strength quite a bit lately, but this patch completely brings back Collector as one of Nilah's stable picks for her first item. With that being said, the other options such as Infinity Edge for example aren't actually that much worse. Collector is just a bit better. Now I also want to talk about Essence Reaver for a bit, because the new Essence Reaver removed Spellblade passive, which is a pity because Nilah actually gained a lot of benefit from that. However, now Essence Reaver will give you quite a lot of mana through its new passive. So in theory, this item would also be viable on Nilah. However, currently the damage is lacking quite a bit, especially compared to Collector. And honestly, there are also other options to fix Nilah's potential mana issue, by for example going Presence of Mind in your runes, or even just playing smart with your mana pool as well. Your second item should be Infinity Edge. This is going to give you the highest 2 item damage power spike possible. On top of that, Nilah needs the new Infinity Edge to be able to compete with other ADCs who have also become stronger, and building this early helps you spike early and thus also compete with those other ADCs like a Tristana or a Caitlyn, who could go something like Infinity Edge as a first item as well. Additionally, picking up Infinity Edge early in your build also allows you to build more situational items starting from your 3rd item power spike, which is actually amazing. And speaking about that 3rd item power spike, I would suggest that you go Lord Dominic's Regards in the majority of your games. Now hear me out, I've tested LDR compared to other items quite extensively, and my conclusion is that starting from 60 to 70 armor, LDR starts outperforming almost every other item damage wise. So I mean with that, if your opponent has 60 to 70 armor or even higher, so starting from the 60 to 70 armor point, you will deal a lot of damage with LDR compared to other items. Considering that even ADCs nowadays easily get up to 100 armor without even building any armor items, picking up LDR as your 3rd item is a very wise choice. However, that being said, it's not because you have items that theoretically deal the most damage that therefore you'll deal the most damage you possibly could. For example, if you go Collector plus Infinity Edge plus LDR, as I would suggest you do, you'd deal a lot of damage. But what if you're getting one shot by the enemy team? Now you don't deal any damage at all, even though you have the highest damage output build you could possibly get. So if you're in a game where you need more survivability, then as your 3rd item I'd recommend you go Bloodthirster, which will give you quite a lot of lifesteal, especially with the new Overheal shield. As for your 4th item, if you got LDR as your 3rd item, then I recommend going a survivability item for your 4th item slot, such as Bloodthirster. Or Mercurial Scimitar if you need a QSS, or even tank items like GA, Guardian's Angel, or Dead Stance. Or even a full tank item, something like a Jack Show. It completely depends on how your game is going, but the key is that here on your 3rd or 4th or 5th items, you can definitely go into more sustainable items. Now if you don't need the extra tankiness, you can also opt for the new attack speed items such as Navori Flicker Blade, or even Phantom Dancer, which is currently ridiculously strong. But you can only build these items on Nilah if you don't need the extra defensive items, if you don't need that extra piece of sustainability. And the same goes for the new Tal Wildarrows item, which I'll be talking about next. So for the rest of your build, like I said, you can fill up with any situational items you might think of. And before I end this video, let me briefly talk about the new item Tal Wildarrows. Personally, I think this item is theoretically pretty good for Nilah. Yuntal gives you more crit damage based on your total AD, and since Nilah both likes to stack crit and buy high AD items such as Infinity Edge, she would gain quite a lot of damage from this item. However, the extra damage you do is dealt as damage over time, which is less ideal for Nilah as she typically likes to burst her enemies. On top of that, Yuntao gets outperformed by Nilah's early game items such as Collector, Infinity Edge and LDR, so that means that you should build Yuntao as your 4th or 5th item or 6th item, but that's typically when you build more defensive or attack speed items anyway. So if you don't need any defensive or attack speed items, then Yuntao could be a great item. But for now I think it's rather a niche item for Nilah than one of her core items. But it certainly does have a place in one of her builds. Alright, that's it for this video. Hopefully you learned something, and you can probably expect some more Nilah content from me in the future, but for now I hope you enjoyed this. And before you leave, I would really appreciate you if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It would help me out a lot. And if you're interested in my personal coaching, feel free to check out the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.